Okay, so before we get started, these are the items you'll be needing for this project. So the first thing I have here is yarn. I'm using these carrot cakes by Yarnspirations. It's 200 grams for this one that I'm using. It's 80% acrylic, 20% wool. It's a medium weight number 4, and it's recommended that we use a 5mm crochet hook. Now I'll just put all the information of these yarn into the description box. That way you have all the accurate information. Now, even though they're recommending a 5mm crochet hook for this size yarn, I am going to be using a 6mm crochet hook, and the reason for that is I just want my work to be a little bit more loose and a little bit more elasticy. And the last thing you will need is your scissors so you can cut your strands at the end of the project. Okay, so let's get started. So the start of this project is going to be very simple. We're doing corner to corner, as you have seen in the project, in the completed project. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by doing a slip knot, just like this. Okay, so this is how I do my slip knot. If you do it differently, then please go ahead and get one started like that. And you're going to start off with a chain of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now you're going to hold your chain like this, so the front of it is facing you. So in this case, it's facing me. And then I'm going to count from this side where the tail is, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. And in the third chain from there, I'm going to do a treble crochet. And the way you do treble crochet is you yarn over once, you yarn over twice, you go into your stitch right there, you bring your yarn back, you will have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops on the hook, you have 3 left, yarn over, go through 2 more, you have 2 left, yarn over, go through the final 2. Okay, so that's how you do your treble crochet. And then you're going to repeat that in the next stitch as well. So this stitch right here, just like that. Okay, and then you're going to do one more in the final stitch here. Okay, so that is the first row of our work right here. So as you can see, we did 7 chains, and then we used the last or the first 3 to do these 3 treble crochets. So these 4 that we left as a chain counts as our first treble crochet, number 2, number 3, number 4. So we have 4 treble crochets as the first chain, or as the first row of our work. Okay, and for the next row, you're going to chain 7 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then you're going to continue to hold your chain like this, so the front of it is facing you. And you're going to do the same thing as we did in the first row, which is count 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to start by doing your treble crochets in the third stitch from the first row, just like that. And then you're going to do another treble crochet in the next stitch, and then you're going to do your final treble crochet right here, which is the last chain from the first row. Okay, so when you finish the second cluster there, your work will look like this. Okay, now while you're holding your work like this, you're going to use your left hand and flip your work like this. Okay, so now you have the back of the first cluster and you have the front of the second cluster, and then in the first gap right here, you're going to do a slip stitch, just like that. Okay, so now it looks like one big row like that, but it's actually 2 clusters separately. And what you're going to do here is you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then in that 4 you're going to do, in that same space here, you're going to do 3 more treble crochets in that same space. So just like this. Okay, so 1 more. So as you can see, the color is starting to change here. Okay, so this is how that third row looks like, or third cluster I should say. And now that you have that, you're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you're going to hold your work like this. You're going to count 3 stitches on this side, so 1, 2, 3, and in that third you're going to do your first treble crochet. Okay, and then you're going to do a second one in the next stitch. And then you're going to do a final one in the third stitch from the last row, just like that. Now if you're to hold your work straight, it looks like that. It looks like just a whole bunch of yarn put together. But again, what you're going to do here is you're going to flip your work like this, so that this side is now facing you, and in this gap here where my finger is coming through right here, you're going to slip stitch it there like that. And then you're going to do a chain of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just like we did with this here, we're going to do 3 more treble crochets here. So 1, 2, and so guess what, because we need to connect it to this side, we're going to slip stitch by going through that gap on top of that row. Slip stitch there. Okay, so now it looks like this. Again, it doesn't look like the prettiest thing, but watch what will happen next. So we will do a chain of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do again 3 treble crochets in that gap to make our 4th. The chain 4 is our 4th, so we're going to do 3 more. So that's 2, and 3, and of course, like I said, the chain 4 is 4. As you can see, we're starting to create that V, and that's what you're looking for. So let's do one more row together, and then I'll let you guys work on your project. So there you go. So you get it now. It's as simple as that. So you can see how your work is moving up. Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, and then you just keep going on until you have the size that you're looking for your shawl. So I will stop here. So you guys will continue. I will continue. We'll get back together in probably as long as it takes you to do it. and we'll see how far we've gone, and then we will finish off the project. Hey loves, welcome back. So I have done enough rows to be able to move on to the next step of this shawl. So I will just quickly show you what I have. So this is, I don't have enough space on the view to show you everything, but it's pretty big. So if you can just kind of move it around like this, as you can see, it's quite large. We started off right here, and I'll just kind of quickly talk about a correction that I made off camera. So as we started this project earlier, I showed you guys how to start it from here where this tail is. And as soon as we did 2 rows, the color or the yarn changed into this creamy color right away, which I was okay with, but it was just a little too little for me to see the actual definition of the starting of the project here. So what I did was I just took off the white part, and I took some of the blue from the middle of the yarn, because this yarn ended with a blue in the middle here. So I took that off, and that's what I ended up kind of making more rows of this blue with. And then naturally it transitioned into this white, and then this color, this kind of cream color, and then all the other colors that you have here. So pretty cool yarn, in the sense that you don't have to actually change colors, but it changes colors for you on its own like that. But I really wanted to make sure that you guys understand that I actually ended up changing this, because I like that it starts off with a bigger block of the blue color like that before you transition into this cream color. 5 rows total, and that's where I will stop and start the next step of the project. So let's do that together. So we're going to add lace edges, I guess borders, to this. And as you can see here, this side already has these nice scallops that you know, it's just the way the project goes, the way the pattern is going. But this side doesn't have that. So what I'll do is I will actually do the lace on these sides and not on this side. So I'll leave this side as is also, which is why I chose to leave it with the blue like that. I like that it's ending with a little bit of a darker color tone like that. So the borders will be following this side here all the way down to this corner here, and then we will go ahead and follow the other side as well all the way to here. Okay, so that's how we're gonna be working our border. We're gonna be leaving this nice beautiful scallop pattern alone. Okay, this is where I ended my 45th row, and that of course is where we're going to pick up. Okay? So we're going to do a chain of 6 here, and as you can see, we already did our chain 4 here, and then our 3 triple crochets into that same space. Okay, so everything like we did, the whole pattern is the same like that. And then we're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to double crochet in that space right here. Okay, so just a regular double crochet like that, and then we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in this next gap here we're going to do a double crochet just like that. Then we're going to chain 4 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a double crochet in this space here, chain 4, double crochet into this space here. Okay, so we're going to do this all the way until we get to the bottom corner of the project, so where we started our corner. And as you can see, that's what it looks like for this row of the lace border. Okay, and so you're going to continue this all the way until you get to this corner here, and this corner is where we started our project. So go ahead and do that. When you get right here, come back and I'll show you what to do. Actually, when you get to this, when you do your last double crochet in this gap, come back and I'll show you what to do with that corner right there. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so we should be at the point now. So we have done our lace all around to here. We're at the point and we have the other half to go. Okay, so we're going to do the same, which is a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. and then we're going to do a double crochet just right in this corner here. So as you can see, we're just going to do a double crochet right there. So right in that gap, we're going to do a double crochet. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to do a chain of 6 because we have the corner now to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to do another double crochet right in the same corner right there. Okay, so we're going to create our corner just like that. So that's our corner here. And then we're going to do a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to, and we're going to do a double crochet right there, just like we did the other side. Chain 4, double crochet in the next gap right here, chain 4, double crochet in the next gap, and then you'll do the same, or you just continue these all the way to the other side. So the main thing here is, as you can see, that's how our corner looks like. Okay, so we created a corner here. We want it to stay still sharp, like the V, like that. Okay, and so go ahead and continue to do the same thing all the way along this side, just so it's exactly like this side that we have done the chain 4 and double crochet in the gaps. And when you get to this corner here, come back to the video and I'll show you how to do the second row of the border. Okay, so now that we're here, we have done the double crochet in this gap here, which is our final gap. And for this very last corner here where my finger is, we're going to do a double crochet there. Okay, so just like that. And then we're going to chain 1. And then you're going to turn your work around because we're not doing any borders on these scallops here. So we're going to turn to go back where we just came from. And now that you've done a chain 1, you're going to go ahead and do single crochet right there in that big gap right here. Okay, and then you're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to do a single crochet on top of the last double crochet from the last row of the border. So a single crochet there. You're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then single crochet on top of this double crochet from the previous row. Chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you do the same right here. And that's pretty much what you're going to do all throughout. So as you can see, this is what it should look like. The chain 4s are a little bit tighter than the chain 6 that we just did. And that's the point, is we're creating the lace like that. All right, so we're going to continue doing this chain 6 and single crocheting on top of all the double crochets that we did. And you're going to do that until you come to the same corner that we had earlier. So when you get to this bottom corner here, come back and I'll show you guys how to do the different, because we're doing it a tiny bit different here. So just come back when you get to this corner and I'll show you what to do, and then we will continue with what we're doing right now on this other side as well. Okay, so see you in a bit. So as you can see, I did my last 6 chain here and then a single crochet in that gap, and then now we're at the very corner here. And I'm going to actually do a chain of 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry about that, there's a helicopter above the house. And then you're going to single crochet right there. So again, if you look at this, wow, that is actually extremely loud. But anyways, so as you can see that we're still keeping that we have here our corner made there. We're going to go back to doing our chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and then single crochet in the next in the previous double crochet. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then we continue and we do a single crochet there the same way we did. So as you can see, we're just kind of matching this side again. So we're going to continue to do that on this side as well until we get to this corner here. Okay, so when we get to this corner here, when you do your last single crochet here after you do a chain of 6, come back and then I'll show you what to do in the next row after that. Okay, so go ahead and do that and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so we are at this corner again here. So as you can see, we have 2 rows of this lacing here. The first one we did a chain of 4 and then a double crochet into every single gap, and then for the second row we did a chain of 6 and then single crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous row. So we did that all around, and now we are at this corner here, and I'm going to show you how to do it at this corner here. Okay, so for us to finish off the rest of this row here, we're going to do a chain of 6. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then instead of doing a single crochet, we're going to do a double crochet right on top of this stitch right here. And this is pretty much the first stitch of the chain that we have from the previous row. So it looks something like that. And then we're going to chain 1, turn your work. So you chain your 1 and turn the work, you're going to do a single crochet into the big gap there like this. Okay, just like that. And then you're going to chain 2, so 1 2, and to move on to this next gap here, you're going to do a treble crochet, 1 2, then you're going to go into that big gap there and do your treble crochet just like that. Oops. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And then we're going to do a picot here because we're going to have these nice little picots on top of our treble crochets. So we're going to chain 4, so 1 2 3 4, and right here as you can see, there's this gap from this chain 2, and then from this final stitch here we're going to do a slip stitch right like that. So as you can see, I go through the 2 stitches there and I do a slip stitch, and that's our first picot right there. Okay, then we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do another treble crochet in the same gap, and then chain 4 to create our picot, and then slip stitch right here. Like that. So as you can see, these 2 treble crochets have a picot right on top of it. We're going to chain 1 again, another treble crochet in the same gap, a chain 4 for the picot, and then slip stitch right at the base there. Okay, so we have 3 picots in that gap. We're going to do 3 more to make 6. Okay, so you should have your 6 picots right there. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, now to move on to the next step here, we're going to chain 2, 1 2, and then you're going to single crochet in the next gap there, and you're going to chain 2 again, 1 2, and you're going to start by doing another cluster of the picot lace right in the next box there. So we do our treble crochet, and now we're going to do a chain of 4 and then create our picot by doing a slip knot right at the base of that chain 4, and then chain 1, and then we do another treble crochet, chain 4 for the picot, slip stitch the base, okay, so like that. And you're going to continue this pretty much all throughout this side. So you're going to do your 6 treble crochets in here with picots, and then when you're done, you're going to chain 2, do a single crochet into this gap here, this gap, then chain 2, and then start another cluster of your treble crochets with picots in this, and then you continue to do that until you get to the base of the project. So again, the base is this part here where we started our project, and because we're going to do something a little bit different here, come back and I'll show you what to do, and then we will go ahead and finish off the project. Actually, you don't even have to come back on the video. So what we're going to do, unless something different comes up, but what we're going to do is we're going to continue to do that, but when you get to doing your cluster of picots here, instead of doing 6, we're going to do 8. So you'll have a lot more here, and then we continue to do the same thing on the other side until you get to this corner here, and this corner here is pretty much the same corner as where we just started off here. So when you get to this corner, come back, but it's very possible I may come back when I get to this corner here, in case there's a little bit of a because I cannot count how many of this is gonna lead for me to end up doing picots here. I may not end up doing picots in the bottom. If that's the case, I'll come back and show you guys what to do next. Okay, see you in a bit. Hey loves, okay, so we have just completed this shawl. As you can see here, I just laid it flat on my counter where I'm taping, but I will just kind of push it away from here so we can see the beginning. So look at what we did with the edges here, the bordering. So these are all the treble crochet on top, and then we added a picot, and as you can see, it comes out really nice. It looks like snowfalls, look like snowflakes. This is so cool. So anyways, look at it. So this is the beginning, this is where we started our project, and as you can see, that's where the tail is, and we have pretty much worked all the way down to the top, which is right here. That's the top. Unfortunately, just the angle of the camera makes it really hard for me to show you guys the full thing, but then if you go to the right, you will see that this is the other corner. By the way, this is where I just ended the project. And then if we go to the other side all together, we have the other corner. Let me just straighten it up here. There you go. So this is the other corner right here. Okay, so the bordering is all done. I really like it, and I hope you guys did as well if you followed along with the tutorial. I am obsessed with it now that I have finished doing this bordering here. I just love that it looks like snowflakes. It's very elasticy. Like if you look at it here, like it's very stretchy, and it's so warm. Just crocheting this and sitting on the couch, and it was on my lap, like I was literally burning within 10 minutes of working on it. So this is probably something that I will wear when it's really cold outside, because it will probably be too hot if you're wearing it in a little bit of a warmer season. Okay, all right, so this is where we're ending it here. So I did my 6 treble crochets with picots in this final loop here from the previous row, and then I did a chain 2, and then I pretty much finished it off here with a single crochet like that. So all we have left to do, and this is how this is going to end up staying like that. So all we have to do is cut the yarn off there. So we're just going to chop it right here. And then what I'm going to do, I am not the best at weaving in my yarn, so what I often do is I just, so I will close it off like that. Just kind of close it like that. I will do a knot to fully secure it, then just like that. And then I'll just cut this strand off like that. Okay, so, and then the other one that we have to do is the beginning of the project. So right here where we started off our project, we need to kind of fasten that in as well. So I'll do the same thing here. Tight like that, and then I'll cut this here. Okay, and that's pretty much it, you guys. The project is done. So as you can see, that's the beginning here, and I cannot wait to do like another one. I feel like I want to get into doing another one. Probably not gonna be the exact same, obviously, because then I cannot do another video for you guys, but I want to do another corner to corner shawl like this, because this is so beautiful. Like, you guys, this is so cute. And by the way, I ended up using, like, for the full body of the shawl, I used 5, actually I'm sorry, not 5, I used 2 skeins of yarn, and then I got this third one, and I pulled out the blue like I told you, to make sure I had enough for the beginning here, instead of it just being a tiny bit of the first couple of rows to be in this color. I decided to do a lot more rows with the blue in color at the beginning, and also I decided to make sure I ended it with blue here. So whatever blue I had left, I finished it off here from this skein, which is the third one, and then the rest of it pretty much went into doing the bordering. So all of these here pretty much finished almost most of my my third bundle. Okay, so if you're going to make the exact same size as I did, then you're going to need 3 of this, and I believe there were 70. I will put all the information in the description box, but if you're going to make, and it's 45 rows, I did 45 rows total, and then I did 2 rows of 3 rows total of the bordering. So that's where all that yarn is gone into. Okay, so that's pretty much it. This is the complete work here. Thank you so much again, you guys, for following along with this, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Okay, ciao ciao.